collars on till the end. But oh, we're live. Hello. Welcome to the Magenta show here. I am Moira Bush, your host, and I have got a very fabulous guest today, Raymond Harlall. Welcome, darling.
Thank you for having me, Moira.
He's a millennial, so I'm supposed to do this, right?
I'm an old millennial.
You're an old millennial.
I have the body, but the brain is more old.
Okay, all right. Okay, I've got to remember this clappy thing that millennials like to do. So, welcome to the show. I'm so excited you're here. You've kind of stepped in. Our scheduled guest, couldn't make it today, and you at the last minute stepped in, and we're so appreciative of that. Really appreciate you clearing your schedule to come in.
Oh, for sure. It's the least I can do because I had this experience a few months ago too. and Cheryl Lynn, my co-author, stepped in and made it go smoothly. Yeah,
she did. We love Cheryl. She was just beautiful. So, my darlings, for those of you who are new to the Magenta show, please share. It's the only way we get an audience, is the way we get to have the conversations that we have with our fabulous guests who you take time to come and be here and you share your wisdom. And we want other people to access that may not know that this is the kind of conversation we have here. The Magenta show is about heart-centered entrepreneurs. And then as a gift to you in the audience, if you look at the number 1, 2, and 3 in these boxes I've got in front of me, feel the one that you are drawn to. And whichever one you're drawn to, I'm going to flick the card at the bottom and give you a little color-guided message for the upcoming week. And these tend to be very accurate. We get lots of feedback from the audience saying they love it. And when you know what your pick is, I want you to put it in the comments box. Okay, deal? All right, so at the end of the show, stay tuned and we will give you a little reading. Let's just have a look who's joined us. Carolyn Carricker. Hello, Caroline from the UK. Hello, darling. Beauty queen.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
Yeah, Caroline is a beauty queen. Shannon Aurelia and Arena Barkley from sunny Sussex. Lovely, Yenny. Hello, Yenny.
Anna Santos.
Anna Santos has joined us. Yenny, you and I have to have a phone call. I got your message earlier today. Bit of housekeeping there. And then Anna Santos, mine is number 3. Okay, Anna, so stay tuned at the end of the show. I'm going to flip number 3 and tell you what that one is. Shirley Connolly has joined us. And Shannon also number 3. Ooh, Shannon, we have a celebrity tuning in today. She came 3rd in the speaker competition.
Phenomenal, yeah. It was great sharing stage with her, kind of competing with her, and she did phenomenal.
Yeah, she was amazing. That blue dress, wasn't that awesome?
Yes, I think that played a huge part. Yeah.
Colors, yeah. Oh, hang on, don't bump your elbow, darling. All right, Shannon, congratulations for coming 3rd in James Earl's Dynamic Speaker, Entrepreneur Speaker event. Mm-hmm. You did exceptionally well. She was so authentic on stage, and she was funny.
Yes.
She made us laugh.
Yes.
Yeah. She said something about she'd been in chocolate business, wine business, cheese business, all that. Because she says she's been following her heart. So, of course, we knew where her heart was going with that, right?
Yes.
Right up the
We're right there with you.
Chocolate and wine route. Fantastic. My hubby Paul has joined us. He's got number 1. You've picked number 1. Okay, excellent. We got you, my darling. Okay, so share. You're going to win books today. If you share. The person who shares the most gets to win books. Now, Raymond, I have been spotting, kind of seeing you at a couple of events, and then I went to your event where you actually launched your H3 book, your Holistic Health. And you had incredible people there, and quite a few of them have actually been on the Magenta show. They've been fabulous guests. We love each one of them. So it's taken me a while to kind of get to chat with you and get to know you, because you and I have not had a...
Right.
It's been a quick, hello, how's it? Let's have a selfie.
Lots of selfies.
Lots of selfies, but not a... Who are you? What do you do? What you do? And what's your vision? Where are you going? Those are all the questions I've been dying to ask you.
Yes, before I go into that, I'll ask Michael, our producer, if he can cue up an intro video for me.
Okay, and we'll rely on Michael to tell us when it goes live, because we can't see it, but he'll tell us when we're live. And this will give you a little taster of what Raymond's world is like and why I wanted him on the show. Cool.
It'll be a minute long, and we'll join you right back.
And it's a brand new piece of technology Michael's trying out with our studio technology here, so...
Yes. What a phenomenal studio. I'm very, very impressed with the setup. It's very professional. You have multiple angles, and it's really nice hair.
Oh, Michael's done a really good job. Okay, darling, you ready? Okay, so right now you should be going, wow. Wowza.
And those are clips from maybe 9 months ago. I haven't updated yet, so it'll be better.
There'll be more.
I met more cool people.
Yeah.
Great
well,
mentors.
there's that saying that you become who you mix with. The 5 people you mix with most is who you become with.
Totally.
Yeah.
And that's my motto, and that's what I went after.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, sorry, darling, I'm not going to see you today. I'm going off to go mix with these other 5 really famous people. Okay.
Well, yes and no,
Yeah.
because I say, hey, come with me. Let's all go meet these amazing people, and and that's one of the motto and a model that I incorporate into my collaborative book line of books, a series of books. And it's not a race to get a lot done. It's about quality, and it's about collaboration, and it's about upbranding and authentically meeting a legend, having that legend so a legend like Les Brown, for example, in the last book, his brand, his business is his name. He can't just say, here son or here daughter, take this business and run with it. What he gets paid to speak on stage, maybe his kids will not get it right away. But there's a transition zone where they will, who best to take over it than somebody with the name Brung.
Yeah. Because we had Raymond and I had this little chat upstairs before we came in the studio that all of the mentors that you've been really drawn to working with, they're in their 70s and 80s already.
Right.
All the really the top-notch guys. And who in their 40s and 50s do we look up to?
Right.
Especially here in Canada. Who's our role models? And it feels, and we couldn't even think of anybody straight away because there's this gap.
Right.
Between these young, in certainly your generation coming up into business, and then we've got all these incredible legends, as you call them, that are in their 70s and 80s.
Right.
And what happened? Why was there a generational gap? And will your generation and young and older millennials, will they fill in and make sure that there isn't another generational gap for inspirational leaders?
Well, I haven't.
I know that's a big question.
Yeah, that's a huge question.
It's a huge
and actually,
question,
I
but
wasn't
I'm
thinking
fascinated.
about it that way when I started.
Yeah.
I started watching YouTube interviews of Jim Rohn.
Yeah.
He's the greatest
Yeah,
legend
he
of
is.
all time.
Oh, my husband's favorite. He loves him.
Yes,
yeah.
and Jim, December would be a 10-year anniversary since Jim has left us.
Yeah.
And it hit me. It's like, wow, I wish I knew this guy.
Yeah.
And then I started doing more research, and I'm like, okay. And even Zig Ziglar, it's going to be almost 20 years since Zig is gone. So these are 2 amazing legends, Zig and Jim Rohn. And then I said, who's living legends?
Yeah.
Because the magic happens when you meet and feel the energy.
Yes.
And this is all what you talk about, the energy. And so I went on a aggressive search to meet the mentors, study from them, meet them in person, have a picture of them, interview many of them.
Yeah. And they inspire you, they teach you,
Right.
You're learning from them, but we still have a gap. There is just so many. What would you say? Because I fit that gap. I'm in that gap, right?
Excellent.
I'm in my 50s, so
Right.
I'm in that middle gap
Right.
where I have not become a legend. All right, I don't know if I want
Not
to become
yet.
a legend, but
You're on your way
legend
there.
in my own mind. But there are people who are thought leaders, change makers, inspirational people that are on this platform. What would you say? Now, I'm going to ask you this one to look at it from the step up. What would you say? How do you become that legend that is Les Brown, that is the Raymond Aarons, the Jack Canfields, the people who are leading the Canadian entrepreneurial motivational market? What advice would you give to me to say, hey, that's how you do it?
Well, I think they've been going at this for a very long time.
Me too.
Yes.
25 years.
And it will I think there's going to be a moment where it just happens. This one thing or just two thing will just happen naturally. And I don't necessarily, it's not a race. It's about leaving an impact and spreading that strong foundation. So even I was at a mastermind lunch with Jack Canfield just Saturday, and he said something when he started. He said he's in the first class flight going to Hawaii in a retreat. He literally gave his books, his Chicken Soup series of books, to all the people in the first class. So and they're in the seats first, when the entire other 100 or 200 people pass by, they're like, everybody in the first class is reading this book. Maybe I should be reading this book too. So it's a matter of branding and marketing in the beginning.
But making an impact that is genuine and real.
It would not survive. If the product and services that you offer and you as a person is not authentic and real, then don't even bother with the marketing.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Money cannot buy you that credibility.
No, it's got to be real. One of the things that I know and that I practice in my business, which I know will lead to some kind of tipping point, is consistency and commitment. If you start a project or you're going to help somebody, you've got to stay consistently present with them and the project, and you've got to be committed and see it through to the end, no matter what.
Right.
Because that's what I have a lot with my particular mentoring group, is what they're busy learning is we've got the 707 show, for example, and I try and encourage them to consistently turn up, to stay committed to the program. But every now and again they kind of waver and they waft off into the end, and I have to try and pull them back in again.
You're the visionary.
Yeah, but I'm the teacher, I'm the mentor as well. So I understand in my business, if I'm not committed and consistent, I'm not going to get results.
Of course.
What would you say about that? Do you think that's important?
Oh, it's the number one thing. And of course, on my birthday, I was 30. I turned 30 on
Saturday.
On Thursday.
No, Thursday. That's right. We sang happy birthday.
And I took 3 flights just to make it to the Dynamo
event,
speaker competition. 3 flights, and $1,300 later, all day, I was in Houston.
For a 3-minute speech because you said you were going to do it.
Yes, it was marketed. My face was on the poster, and coincidentally, I was the first picture on the banner. It means nothing, really. But I'm like, if that guy doesn't show up, what's going to happen to my brand? I said I was going to be there. I made a decision not to go to the airport and take that flight the evening, thinking that I can just jump on another one. And there wasn't another one available. I slept at the airport, got on a flight in Houston. I had to detour to New York, which worked out perfectly because my wife and son lives there. And then I got to Toronto in the evening, straight from the airport, straight to the competition.
And you did it.
Because I said I was going to be there.
You said you were going to be there.
And credibility matters.
Credibility. So let's just ask our audience if they'd like to pop in a couple of comments for us. Do you believe that if you're going to become a legend one day, if you're going to really serve in a global way, the way that some of the people that Raymond has been studying and learning from, that to become that person, that consistency and commitment and decision making like you did, you made a decision, that those are important factors in a business? Because I believe it is. I certainly apply it to my business. I'm consistently turning up. We've been doing this Magenta show since September 2017.
Wow.
And so every season on a Monday we turn up, and we've hardly ever had a show cancelled. If it happened, I was a death's door, literally.
Right.
And or you know, a guest couldn't come, but somebody's always managed to fit in if that has happened.
Right.
And we're fully booked up until 2020
Right.
for shows. So it's because it's consistent. People see you in their mind's eye continually turning up with your message, so they will turn up. So they start going, hang on, this is somebody I need to take seriously because they're always there. One of the best compliments I get when we go to events is, oh, I see you all over Facebook.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. And that because
Yes.
that's our platform for broadcasting, right?
You're building a brand. You're bringing your
Yes.
credibility. And now when you host your own event, when you're speaking at the event, people are going to just show up just to see you.
And they want to know, how do we do what we do?
Right.
That's their big question, is how do you do it? How are you on camera? And of course that leads to more work down the line. Right, so I have another big question for you.
Hard question. And these, she never emailed these to me, so I'm like,
I want to know.
yes.
You're a young, ambitious entrepreneur. You're good at marketing. You're good at helping other people. You're good at collaborative projects. I mean, that really stood
That's
out.
magic.
I've loved. That is magic. Why do you do it? What motivates you? What is that? What is it that you're working towards?
Yeah, so I realize, I'm going to answer that. I realize I'm sitting here. Happy Mother's Day to you.
Thank you.
I told you yesterday, but I'm going to tell you again. And this is the show that's closest to Mother's Day. So
Fabulous. Thank
join
you.
me to wish Moira a happy Mother's Day.
I am a
just
happy mother, I have to tell you.
She's a phenomenal mom.
Yeah.
And she's unique. And she gets to work in the same studio with her son.
Yes.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah, he is amazing. He's behind cameras waving at us now.
Yes, he's just phenomenal.
Thank you,
so
Raymond.
thank you for having me in your home and your studio. I've never stepped into a house like this. It's actually nicer than any hotel that I've ever stayed at. You need to find a way to get to know her. Try to get into the studio and be a part of what Moira is doing.
Oh, you're very sweet. Oh, that's a nice Mother's Day message. Thank you.
And now I forgot. Okay, I forgot my question.
I'll have to ask you again.
That's good. If she
Why
remember-
do you do what you do? Why do you... Well, what is this vision? What are you working towards? What
Right.
motivates you? What drives you?
Right. So I want to help to curb poverty at a big scale. My parents are both humanitarian. My dad's a pastor. My mom's a teacher.
Wow.
They refuse to live in North America. They came and they went back home to Guyana, where I'm from. But I feel they're doing great. They're leaders. They're leading from behind.
Yeah.
You know when they're leaders because when the community comes to them for advice or come to them to solve a problem, and they were not. I grew up in a middle class home. They were not after wealth because of the third world country. Yeah. Maybe if you go after riches, then
you miss the point.
No, and then
anyway.
thieves will come. I grew up being told, "Don't be too rich. You will get shot, or they'll come and rob you and take your wealth."
Good Lord.
So you had to kind of not be starving, nor not be showing off. You had to live a really low key life. Yeah. But my vision was like, yes, Mom and Dad, you're doing amazing. But how about the other villages that we cannot reach?
Yeah.
And when I was in my early 20s, I'm like, all rich people suck, or they're wicked, or they're rich because they stole somebody else's money. But then I realized, you know what? There's the Bill Gates and there's the Warren Buffett who are actually doing great.
Who are philanthropists.
And they can help many. And if they are in poverty themselves, they can't quite do that. Yeah. So I realized I started building a foundation to build my brand, build residual income, doing the work once and keep getting paid for it. So I don't have to trade hours for money. And that's my story and how I become who I am now, doing the collaborative books. $1 from each of the books sold is donated to charity. And I've been doing that, and I will be continuing to do that. Yeah. But my visions are so big, and I need to help so many that there's no roadblock that will stop me. Yeah. Nothing stops me. I jump over it, go around it, go under it, and so there's no roadblocks for me.
But I think what you're doing is great, because there are people like your parents, and I come from South Africa as well, which really is third world country these days, where I saw people just helping people locally in their villages, their communities,
Right.
and their shanty towns. And I've had the opportunity to, like you, I've watched these big world leaders,
Right.
and watch what they do, and they serve from a bigger global, more
Right.
villages. But they ask the same question as you: how can
Right.
I serve more villages? And we need to be filtered through all the layers to be able to, and as long as you're following your heart and you're doing what feels right for you, then, and you're serving, it doesn't matter if you're doing it to a village or a big world stage. That's my philosophy, and I certainly pass that down to my mentoring students as well. You're definitely geared to serve more than one village. Your energy, when I saw you first on stage, I thought, yeah, you have a lot to learn. You're young,
Yes.
right? I mean, I have a lot to learn. Even with me in my 50s, I have a lot to learn before I can do the legend level. And but you're already so far ahead of a lot of youngsters because you're so committed and passionate about learning from your elders.
Right.
And I think that is a key element that some young entrepreneurs miss, is they don't take on mentors who are older than them and have blueprints and more experience and willing and happy. I mean, whenever you meet them, they're so happy to talk to us, aren't
Right.
they? Isn't it great? I mean, I remember when I met Jack Canfield for the first time, and I started talking to him. He was asking me questions about my book, and the next day on stage, he was quoting from my book
Yes.
to the audience. And I went like, oh, that's nice.
Yes.
But, you know, if you don't ask, if you don't approach them, you're not going to learn. And I think young entrepreneurs out there, I hope you hear this message and you can see what Raymond is doing, because he's setting a really good example of working with the elders in the tribe. So
Right.
you can serve more than one village.
Yes.
Oh. I'm doing the millennial thing. Okay, you were also just featured in a fabulous magazine here.
I was.
The Entrepreneur magazine. Isn't that amazing? I'm just going to flash it there so Michael can see it. And you're on page 7. And I love the headline that they put here.
Yes.
Immigrant laborer to #1 international best-selling author.
Yes.
Do you like it when people write nice stuff about you like that?
Well, it's sometimes I can't even believe it's me, but I don't get caught up in that because my vision is so big. It's like, okay, the faster this happens, and this happened in a year.
Oh man.
29, I was running a construction company and a trucking company, and 30, I'm here speaking on stages.
Yeah.
I'm in Dallas, Texas next week. Next month, first of next month, I'm in Atlanta. In August, I'm in South Africa. It's insane.
When you in South Africa?
South Africa, all of August.
All of
I'm
August.
speaking 4 weekends.
Okay. Are you going to Cape Town?
Yes.
You got to go to Cape Town,
Yes.
right, guys? You know Cape Town is like the best
I
place,
missed
right?
it the last time
You
I was
missed
there.
it last
Yes.
time. Oh, it's
I at
beautiful
least want to
there.
see where the oceans meet.
Oh man, it's a wild west with ocean water, but you'll love it. You'll absolutely love it. Cape Point, it's beautiful.
Wow.
So, okay, I would like to ask you what's next for you. How can people get hold of you, and kind of what, you know, besides all this traveling you're doing, but
Right.
you know, how can people connect and be a part of what you do?
Okay, so something that's very inclusive that I'm doing, I saw the market. There's many publisher in Toronto and globally, but there's no one place where all authors, if I publish books, many other publishers that are my mentors, they publish book, but not many, all authors don't have a one hub to be at to talk about things, to see, hey, you tipped your book to #1 bestseller on Amazon. How can I do that? And it's all collaborative. And so I've put together an event I've established the Canada Book Club.
Ooh, hashtag Canada Book Club.
Canada Book Club.
Yeah?
And where Canada Book Club's gonna, the first event Canada Book Club's gonna have is in Toronto. It's gonna be all across the country, but the first one will be July 21st here in Toronto, and it's 100 author in a winter room. Where else can you ever go into an event and walk out with 100 autograph book by the authors
Wow.
at a discounted price?
Wow.
And we're gonna have media there, and there's just one surprise that I don't want to share. I always like to have a surprise up my sleeve.
Hang on. I got a book too, you know that,
Exciting.
Hello.
Yes. So You're
Excellent.
gonna come.
I want to be in.
Yes.
I'm in. How do I get in if I'm an author?
If
What's
you
the
go
process?
to, it's very easy. You go to canadabookclub.ca, and it's going to be flashing at the bottom here. canadabookclub.ca. It's you fill out a form. It's just 5 or 6 questions. If you want to be just attend, or if you want to have a table to display, or you want to be a sponsor of the event. So there's different options, but it's just inclusive. You can get a table from $150. It's a no-brainer. You sell the books, you keep all the profits, and it's going to be phenomenal.
Oh, I think that's again, just like typical of you, to see a gap.
Yes.
To see because I have interviewed on this show a lot of authors, and they've got books that they don't have a platform to sell it besides
Right.
the usual,
Right.
giving them away like confetti at events and Amazon possibly, but until they actually have a space where they can tell the public, hey, here I am, come and meet me, ask me questions, let me give you an authored copy, a signed copy. That I think this is a fabulous idea.
It's all
Raymond.
about collaboration. Me alone as an author, you alone as an author. Yes, okay, oh, I'm a part of a group of 100 authors at one event. Would you like to come? Yeah. It's an expo.
Yeah. Because we had Fatima Omar, who's a publisher, on the show a couple of weeks ago, and she specializes in helping people get #1 Amazon bestseller status.
Amazing.
She's brilliant with that. So, and I believe you're watching, Fatima. So, you want to look at this website, because I think there's something there for you and your authors as well.
There's room for collaboration.
There's room for collaboration. Yeah, with you, there's always he's so generous.
There's no competition. There's none of that.
No.
There's no race or showing off. We do
together.
better. There's an old African proverbs that says, if you want to go fast, do it yourself. If you want to go far, and it's worth it to go far, do it others.
Do it with others, yeah. Well, when Fatima was on the show, we were speaking about, she said there's something like 1,900 self-published books that get listed on Amazon every single day.
Yes.
And so how do you stand out from that crowd? How do you let people know that you've written a book? So I think what you're doing with the Canada Book Club .ca is a jolly good thing. I'm in.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got 2 books. I've got the deck of cards, and I've got 2 more coming out right now. So that's brilliant. Okay, my darlings, I love that. So if you are new to the Magenta show and you have just tuned in, we do ask you to very kindly share the broadcast, share the replay as well in groups and pages. Let people get to know what we do here. We're in season 7. We've already had over 100,000 views.
Wow!
And
Congratulations.
Genuine views. So we're really pleased with that. And if you're wondering what this number 1, 2, and 3 in front of me is, you feel if you're drawn to number 1, 2, or 3, pop it in the comments box, and right at the end of our show, I'm going to show you what the card is, flip it over, and give you a little color guided message for the week. So I would like to move, Raymond, to where I offer you some help.
Exciting.
So I want to show you and demonstrate some of the color analysis I work with the color mirror system that's founded by Melissa Jolly in South Africa. They're all made in South Africa. Beautiful place in the world near Hermanus, a little village called Stanford, and the river runs from Hermanus's Bay, and this is where all the whales, southern right whales, give birth to their babies. Spiritually, energetically, and it's an incredibly beautiful part of the world. There's lots of lovely energy there, and that's where she makes these beautiful bottles. So I would like to help you. I'd like to offer you some advice.
Great.
What would you like help with?
Okay, so you have lived in South Africa, the UK, and you're doing amazing work globally, and you're kind of now setting up shop. Well, expanding here in Canada. I have set up here in Canada, and it's my time, I feel, to go out into the world. And so if you can help me with that, what advice you have for me going international?
Going international. Okay, excellent. So I want you're going to have to pop up for me, and I want you to have a look at the bottles that are behind you here, and any one that you are drawn to, I'd like you to pick it and come and put it on the light box for me, Raymond.
So many options.
And for those of you listening to the podcast, Raymond is now looking at a wall of amazing color bottles, and he is going to feel for one that draws him in. And we find that it's not your ego that tends to pick these bottles, it tends to be your soul. It tends to be something a little deeper. And so these bottles literally speak the language of light, the language of your soul. So they can give us a little glimpse into the future as well. All right. Okay. So he's gone and picked a yellow on top and deep turquoise at the bottom, Raymond. And you see it's got a number 4 on top. So this one is called Uranus. It's named after a planet. Symbolically, the planet Uranus is the planet of lightning. Quick changes, sudden, unexpected things happening, and be prepared for the unexpected to happen at any minute. Those are the kind of messages that sits in that, all right? So, but the number 4 is also very important, because it says here that you need to have a very strong foundation in place. So it's the 4 cornerstones of a building. So if you think about it, unless the cement is set, you can't build anything on top, all right? The yellow talks about intellect, and it talks about sunshine, and so I really want you to think about working in sunshine areas, places
amazing.
where the sun is shining, okay? So like California, for example, Florida,
Right.
States in the US, for example, that are very sunny as well. South Africa, of course, very sunny country.
Right.
So there's a connection for you there. And then, of course, back home in India, the lovely hot summers there as well. So to me, it's wherever the sun shines more. The countries you want to target is where the sun shines more in the year than it is snowy and cold and wintry.
Wow.
Does that help you?
Yes, it helps a lot.
Okay, so focus on sunny countries for now. Also, the turquoise is about the sea. It's about being near the coast. So that's why I mentioned California, Florida, South Africa,
Right.
Cape Town. It's great to go to Joburg, but Cape Town's by the ocean and the water. So you want to focus on events that are held near coastal cities and towns as well.
Amazing.
Okay, so that's a very geographic a point for you. What I'm interested in is, what do we still need to do with these 4 cornerstone foundations? I'd like you to pick another bottle for me, please. So bring another one
Meanwhile,
in.
my wife Divya is watching.
Oh, hello, Divya, and congratulations, my angels. I believe you and Raymond are parents. Oh, wow. I'm smiling because so far that's hitting the nail on their head, Moira. Oh, you're a sweetheart. Thank you for letting us know. Okay, let's have a look. Okay. So Raymond is picking... there we go. Okay, so the way in is marketing, networking, and collaboration. That's it.
Okay.
Those are the keywords that immediately pop up, because 5 is 5 to me is like, you look at your hand, when you shake somebody's hand, there's a connection, there's a collaboration, all right? So it's got to be with partnerships, with collaboration. Literally what you did here with your holistic health book, where you've got a collaboration of 20 authors, you want to go and find 20 experts in their field in that city and that part of the world, and have them collaborate and do a book, okay?
Getting
And
goosebumps with this.
that's it. 5 is also Mercury, and it's a planet bottle. It's green. For those of you on podcasts who can't see the colors, it's a solid green bottle, top and bottom. This is Mercury, the planet of communication. So public speaking is you need to get public speaking slots on platforms in those particular sunny waterside cities and countries. And my feeling would be to build collaborative projects, anything where you can bring people together. So what you're doing here on the scale where you've created books and then you're creating a Canada book club, you need to put it in a way that somebody else then can run that for you, and you can go set it up in another place until you have.
So that's a big vision to
that's
do
a big
in
yeah.
each country.
Because if you can link, and I mean, your target needs to be 5 countries, literally. You find your 5 sunny countries and just tick them off one by one on the list and start following through with them. Pick another one. I want another one. Oh, another bottle. I have another question coming up that I want an answer on. Because what is interesting, of course, is you picked 4 and 5, and they follow each other. Fabulous. So you picked C1 red. Okay. So red is about, you got to get practical. It's a C1 bottle, and it relates to the first chakra in the body. And I'm hoping you're familiar with the chakras. And red is the base chakra. It's at the base of the spine. So this, and it's coral on top and red at the bottom in the color mirrors bottle. So what I've got here is you've got to get practical, and you've got the foundations that have to be in place with your relationship, with your marriage, with your legal status, all the practical things. You've got to do everything upfront, transparent, right from the word go. All right. So and I think, and because reputation is going to be very important to you later on in your life, when people go back and they want to try and find some dirt on you, because you're going to be famous, you're going to be big, you're going to do big things, Raymond. You know it. Your goals are huge. You need to make sure that all the foundational pieces are laid in place. Okay. What I love about you already is you financially, you like to share as well. You have because red is money. Right, so you also share. So part of getting the collaboration to work in these countries in the fall is to share the success, to share the finances, make sure contracts are in place, make sure everybody knows exactly where they're at, everything's clearly communicated when it comes to money and how you're going to make the partnerships. Okay, so you might want to have an automated system for that as well, so that everybody always knows exactly where you are and where you're going.
Amazing.
Is that okay?
That's phenomenal.
All right. And it's not that you need a legal advisor to do any of this. It's just that just be aware people want to, they need to know where they stand with you. Yes. Very, very clear. And you need to follow through. Right. Remember that consistency commitment we spoke about earlier in the show? You need to be demonstrating that through these contracts to build the reputation in those countries.
Amazing. Wow.
Have you got any other questions?
Oh, this was really well. This was really nice.
I think what I'm going to ask him to do, darling, is I'm going to ask him to pick a bottle for you, dear. Divya?
Yeah, Divya.
Yeah, Divya. Okay, I want you to pick a bottle for Divya.
Happy Mother's Day. First Mother's Day to you, darling. And to all of the mothers watching.
She's lovely.
This is for you.
Okay.
Interesting.
Pick two. I'd like you to pick one for your son as well. I'm just bringing the family in here because we can.
Because we can.
Okay. So one for Divya and one for your little boy.
So
the
yellow is for Divya.
The yellow is for you, Divya. He's chosen it for you. Don't worry, he hasn't chosen it. His soul's chosen it. And this one?
For Nathan.
It's Nathan. Oh, what a lovely name. Okay, so now this gives us a little insight into your family.
Yes.
So this is where we get personal. You might want to block your ears, Divya, just in case. All right. First of all, you've married a winner. I mean, number one, the sun. She's the sun. Literally, she's the light in your life. She's the center of your universe. Everything needs to revolve around her, like the cosmos. All the planets revolve around the sun, the center of the sun. Okay, and she's a very, very clever lady. I would listen to her advice more than you probably do right now. Okay, I've said it, darling. I've just tuned in. Okay.
LOL.
Okay, so she really is a bright spark and very high intelligence here as well. So the IQ is very high. Yellow always indicates that really professor ability, that analytical brain. And the difficult part about being married to somebody who's the number one is they're very independent themselves.
Right.
It's like, I can open my own doors, I can pick up my own suitcase, they kind of have that streak of I'm number one, I can do it myself. So you just have to allow her to have a little independent moment as well. But you're married to a winner. She's number one. Definitely.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I hope she likes what I just said.
Yes, it's true. Yeah, it's true.
She's the light of your life. And then Nathan here is bottle number 30, and it's turquoise. So here you've got a child that is going to emotionally challenge you. Whereas Divya is more mental, yellow is about intellect and the mind. He is going to emotionally be your wisdom teacher, your challenge, where you're going to grow the most. So he's the one who's going to open up your heart, let you feel, really connect, and that is just and he's a 3, so he brings the 3 of you together, mom, dad and child. So I love that he's the 30, which is a 3. He naturally is somebody who's going to be creative. You're going to find that he's going to be emulating you. He's going to want to be like his dad. He's going to want to write. He's going to want to to work with people. He's going to want to communicate and heal. He's going to want to be a counselor, therapist, psychologist, something along those lines.
Amazing.
He naturally has that ability, so you can actually start nurturing him from very young.
I totally put my name in as a middle name. Just in case he was to follow me.
I think he's going to follow you. Yeah. But the other thing, just for a note from Mom, that'd be really good for Nathan is water. Get him to start swimming at a very early age. Teach him about water. Let him spend a little bit of extra time in the bathtub. Water, because turquoise is water, so that energy is very healthy for him.
She's
very
in New York right now, and she's taking him to Florida tomorrow.
Excellent.
Where there's a pool in the backyard. So
Excellent. You want to kind of dip him in the water and get him used to it, but watch him, because they love to go in the water once you're connected with him. Okay, they really are. It's going to be a natural element for him. So enjoy those. Take lots of photos. Put them on Facebook so Auntie Moira can see. Okay, my angel. Wowza. Okay, so we've gone from business to the future to the family. I hope you like it.
Phenomenal. Wow. I love the colors all together. It's like they're all strong colors.
And look at the number 4 here, Raymond, because you've got the yellow and the turquoise. It's deep turquoise, but you've brought the yellow and the turquoise out again.
I did. Yeah.
So the beginning of your story and your desire to serve and work globally is so deeply tied into the family connections that you have. Yeah. It's all the business and work hand in hand.
Right, that's what I have to create, because I have a long distance relationship. So I have to figure out a way how I can serve, make money, and do the right thing for myself and family.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of borders and immigration and visas. I'm afraid I've never been. I'm of a school of thought that the planet belongs to everybody, and we just create more problems by putting up borders and walls, and we don't allow us. It's a block to us following our hearts, but at the same time, it teaches us that we can manifest magic, because sometimes in situations like we have with visas and immigration, we realize that we can create magic, if we just hold that vision. Hold that vision. Don't let go. Yeah. Okay, so we better give our audience a little reading as well here, Raymond.
Yes, we have this.
So you pick card number 1. You don't know what it is, neither do I.
No.
None of us know. So for those of you who have picked number 1, you have picked this card. Let's have a look what you picked on. Pink Dragon, Inner Child. Yay! I love it. That is a great card. So for those who picked number 1 with Raymond, the message here is play more. Don't be so adult and serious all the time, especially now with your young Nathan in here. You want to be spending some time playing. You want to be a little bit like a child yourself, because one of the benefits of having a child is it brings the inner child in you out to play. Because you get on the floor and you play Lego with a kid, and you play trains. It brings that out. So this is just saying, for those of you who have picked number 1, this is a week to do something playful, to do something light, not to be too serious and business-like all the time, okay? Great to follow through on your commitments, but do something fun. I hope that's a good message.
Yes.
Okay, cool. And pink is all about love. Love yourself this week. Number 2's Yellow Angel. More focus on the intellect. It goes with your number 1 card. That's my pick of the week. Yes, I have to sit and do some serious writing this week, and advertising and promos that I have to write. So I agreed, for me, number 2 is accurate. I have to focus my intellect. So think about, for those who pick number 2, what have you been putting off, not writing or sitting and thinking about and being creative with your mind. This is your week, okay? Put pen to paper and just start doing it. And those of you who picked number 3, another yellow card.
Wow.
Yellow is in the house for sure. Yellow, laugh and play. So those who picked number 3, you've picked Michael's card. It's time to go on a date. It's time to go and party, go and dance, go and boogie woogie, go and do something incredibly fun that makes you laugh and that allows you to play. I know Michael's not going to like me saying go and find a date and go and have a bit of fun, but for those who pick number 3, if you can encourage him and kind of keep him accountable, okay, make him go out. He's laughing at me now, they're behind the camera. I'm a bully mom today. It was Mother's Day yesterday. I can say what I like today.
he can't say anything bad.
Laugh, go and play, go and play, go and play. That's our show, Raymond.
Yes. thank you for inviting me.
Yeah.
I had an amazing time. It's very insightful. I've never experienced this before.
Which one are
And
you
it's
drawn
right
to the
on.
most? Which is the bottle that stands out for you?
The yellow one.
Number 1, yellow. Excellent. I love it. I love it. It's the I am this. I am in my full presence. I am in my divinity. So it's a lovely bottle to choose, and it's about sunshine and and just go and maybe go to Florida if you can.
Quite possibly.
Fabulous. It's been amazing having you on the show and having a
Thank
chat.
you.
Loved every minute with you here.
Wow.
You're amazing. It's nice to have your energy here. My darlings, you want to connect with Raymond Harlall, please follow him on Facebook as well. He's got a lot of presence there, and he loves taking selfies. So if you see him on events, go and make sure you can approach him. He's very easy approachable, and have a selfie taken with Raymond at events to upbrand your brand by connecting with Raymond.
Excellent.
Okay, we did it. Well done.
We did it.
Thank you. Thank you, my angels.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael.